You didn't plan to check your balance tonight. You just needed to know if the gas station charge cleared. You open the app. The number on the screen has a minus sign in front of it. You blink. It's still there. Minus $31. Not because you bought something reckless. Not because you forgot rent. Because a $6 coffee subscription charged on Tuesday morning and you were $5 short. The bank charged you $35 for that. The fee is almost 6 times the mistake. And somewhere across town, right now, a man who banks at the same institution just got a handwritten birthday card from his personal relationship manager. His wire transfer was processed in the same afternoon. His loan application was approved before he finished the sentence. Same bank, same building, same logo on the app, different world. This is what banking looks like at every level of wealth. And nobody tells you this part. Level 1, negative balance. You overdraft by $6, a streaming service you forgot to cancel. The bank doesn't ask why. The bank doesn't care why. The bank sees a number go below zero and executes a response. $35, withdrawn, automatically. You call to explain. The hold music plays for 19 minutes. A voice answers, reads from a prepared script, tells you that fees of this type are non-refundable at this time. You ask for a supervisor. A callback is promised within 48 hours. Nobody calls. 2 days later, another charge hits the negative account. A $9 phone app you forgot about. The system sees the balance is still below zero. Another $35. You now owe $79 to a bank because of $15 in forgotten subscriptions. You skip dinner on Thursday. Not dramatically, quietly. You walk past the place you usually stop and keep walking like you weren't headed there. Your coworker asks if you want to grab tacos after work. You say you already ate. You didn't. You walk into the branch on Friday to ask about the fees in person. You wait in line for 22 minutes. The teller looks at her screen and something in her face shifts. Not rudeness, not pity, something colder than both. You watch yourself stop being a person to her and become a balance, a flag, a risk category dressed in regular clothes. She processes your account in 40 seconds. No eye contact at the end. No, have a good weekend. She moves to the person behind you and the warmth in her voice returns immediately. You push through the door and stand on the sidewalk. You weren't mistreated, you were processed. And somehow that's worse. Level 2, $200. You clawed the account back. 16 extra hours over 2 weeks. You transferred just enough to clear the negative balance and land at $200. Nobody noticed. Nobody said anything. The bank didn't send a message. There was no notification that said welcome back, but the bank noticed. The $12 monthly maintenance fee hit 4 days later. Quietly, no warning, just gone. To avoid the fee, you need a minimum balance of $1,500. You don't have $1,500, so the fee is permanent. You are paying this institution every single month to hold the money you barely have. You apply for a credit card. They send you an offer for a secured card. The terms, you give them $300 of your own money as collateral. They hold it, then they lend it back to you at 24% interest. For the privilege of borrowing your own money, you read the offer twice, then you close the envelope. You don't take it, which means when your car needs a $400 repair on a Wednesday, you can't cover it on plastic. You take 3 buses to work. You're an hour late. Your manager doesn't say anything. He just looks at you a little longer than usual. You go back to the branch to ask about the maintenance fee again. The teller in front of you is helping a woman with a stroller about the weekend. When you step up, the tone adjusts. Professional, efficient, correct. She waives nothing. She explains the policy. She says there's nothing she can do. You walk to the door. You were served. You were not seen. The bank doesn't see a customer at $200. The bank sees a maintenance fee and a closed credit card application. You exist on their books. That's all.
Level 3, $2,000. Something changes. Not your personality, not your credit score, not yet. Your direct deposit starts hitting consistently. $1,800 every 2 weeks for 6 straight months. The pattern is what matters. Not you, the pattern. One morning you log in and the maintenance fee is gone. You didn't ask for it. You didn't call. The system detected your deposit history and waived it automatically. The same fee that drained your account every month for 2 years just stopped existing. You check 3 times to make sure it's real. It is. A credit card offer arrives in the mail, not secured. A real card with a $2,500 limit, pre-approved. The same institution that declined you last year now has your name printed in metallic ink on an envelope. You didn't change, the number did. You apply. Approved in 90 seconds. You sit with your phone in your hand and feel something strange. Not quite pride, not quite relief. Something closer to confusion. The same system that ignored you at $200 just said yes inside a minute and a half. You walk into the branch and a teller says good morning before you reach the counter. Not the warmth of the customer being guided past the rope line. Not the silence you got at $200. Something in between. Functional warmth. Recognition without investment. You apply for a small loan. $4,000 for car repairs. Approved in 2 days at 13% interest. You realize something while signing the paperwork. The bank doesn't know you. The bank knows your deposit schedule. And your deposit schedule now looks like something the bank can sell products to. You are no longer invisible. You are not yet respected. You are profitable. Level 4, $15,000. You log into the app and your credit limit has changed. From $2,500 to $8,000. You didn't request this. You didn't apply. The bank ran its own internal assessment, decided you were worth more access, and quietly expanded your rope. The next morning, your phone rings. Not a robocall, a person. His name is Marcus. He's your new assigned relationship banker. He gives you his direct line. He asks about your financial goals, your 5-year plan, your interest in home ownership. He wants to schedule a 15-minute review call. The bank that put you on hold for 40 minutes at negative balance just dialed your number first on a Tuesday morning. You refinance your car. The interest rate that would have been 13% at $2,000 is now 7.4%. The price of money got cheaper, not because you negotiated harder, because you stopped looking like a risk. A fee appears on your statement, $28, unexplained. You send Marcus a message. 3 hours later, reversed. No form, no phone tree, no script, just a reply that says, taken care of. The same class of fees that once drained your account for years is now optional. The bank starts courting you, subtly. Emails with your name in the subject line. Offers framed as exclusive. Invitations to webinars for account holders at your tier. Small gestures designed to make you feel like you belong here. You do the math one afternoon. Same fees, same forms, same building, different number. And everything about how the institution treats you is different. The bank was never mean to you when you were broke. The bank was indifferent. And indifference at scale looks exactly like contempt. You're not being looked past anymore. You're being looked after. Because now there's something to protect. Level 5, $80,000. The word preferred appears on your statement now, in the header, on the welcome screen when you log in, in the email signature of the man who handles your account. Marcus starts remembering things. He knows you mentioned possibly buying a house next year. He knows your sister lives in another city. He emails you on your birthday. Not a template, a written sentence. Something specific to a thing you said 6 months ago. The detail isn't coincidence. The bank trains him to remember. Because small things keep accounts. You walk into any branch now and someone stands up to meet you. Not a teller. Someone with a nameplate and a glass-walled office. They walk you past the rope line where everyone else waits. You stood in that line once. A pre-approval letter arrives in the mail. Not for a credit card. For a $450,000 mortgage. The bank decided you were ready before you decided to buy. They want the loan on file before you've chosen a house. A competitor bank calls, unsolicited. They say they can beat your current savings rate and offer a better cashback structure on a premium card. You mention this to Marcus. He calls back within the hour with a counter. The institution that ignored you for years is now competing against other institutions to keep you. You think about the $6 coffee subscription, the 40-minute hold, the $35 fee that came from nowhere, the teller who moved to the next customer without saying your name. Same bank. You are not preferred at $80,000 because you became a better person. You became a number worth defending.
Level 6, $500,000. The bank comes to you now. Marcus doesn't email anymore. Marcus calls. And when he calls, he isn't asking how you are. He's asking when you'd like to meet his colleague from wealth management. The colleague drives to your office. He doesn't wait in your lobby. He's escorted up. He arrives with printed materials in a leather folder. He asks about your tax structure, your estate timeline, what legacy means to you. The conversation runs 90 minutes. He doesn't try to sell you anything at the end. He just leaves his card and says he'll follow up. The selling already happened. You just didn't recognize it. You call about a wire transfer that stalled. Someone picks up on the second ring. There is no hold music. The issue is resolved in the same call. You hang up and sit for a moment. The same call would have taken 3 hours and 4 transfers to wrong departments at $200. The bank hosts a private dinner, 12 clients, a guest speaker who manages a fund, a view of the city from a private floor of a downtown building. Nobody talks about money at the table. Money is the table, not the conversation. You are not a customer at $500,000. You are an asset the bank is actively protecting. And the protection is so smooth, so practiced, so built into the structure of how they treat you, that it doesn't feel like protection. It feels like respect. It isn't. But by this point, the difference barely matters. Level 7. $5 million. Private banking. Your private banker manages fewer than 25 accounts. He has managed yours for 2 years. He knows the name of your foundation. He knows you want to move to a property outside the city. He knows this because you mentioned it once, over coffee, 14 months ago. He wrote it down. Your mortgage rate is not posted online. It is negotiated by phone. The minimum investment threshold on a private deal is waived because the relationship justifies it. The paperwork that takes a standard customer 3 weeks processes in 4 days because someone flags whose account it is. You walk into a branch in a different state. Before you reach the desk, someone uses your name. The network has flagged your account across every location. Not because of fame, because of tier. You sit in a conference room with no logo on the door. The table is one continuous piece of wood. The conversation involves an investment that won't appear on any public prospectus. The room exists because clients at your level exist. The bank does not follow the same rules at $5 million. The bank bends them. And the bending feels so natural that you forget, briefly, that there were ever rules at all. Level 8. $25 million. You don't have a banker anymore. You have a relationship. And the difference between those two words is the entire distance between this level and every level below it. Your account is a named line item in someone's annual performance review. 3 people inside this institution exist in part because of your assets under management. They don't know that. You don't know that either. But the math is real, and math doesn't care what you know. Nothing is offered from a menu. Everything is drafted to your specifications. Interest rates are negotiated verbally. Investment structures are built around your participation before you've agreed to participate. You don't apply for things at $25 million. Things apply for you. Deals come to you before they are available to the public. Private rounds, pre-IPO access, structured products with minimums that most clients will never see. The bank isn't selling to you anymore. The bank is consulting you. The chief investment officer asks your perspective on a sector they're analyzing. The head of private banking flies out to ask what clients at your level should expect from the next generation of their services. You are shaping the institution that once charged you $35 for a coffee that hit on a Tuesday. You are not a customer at $25 million. You are a partner. And the partner has a name, and the name matters. And the name is yours. Somewhere right now, someone is staring at a minus sign. $6. A subscription they forgot. The bank charged them $35 before they even noticed it happened. They're on hold. The music loops. A voice answers, reads from a script, says fees can't be reversed at this time. They don't know yet that the system isn't broken. The system is working exactly the way it was designed to. The same institution that will one day fly out to ask their opinion, that will remember the name of their foundation, that will negotiate their mortgage rate over the phone, that will process their wire transfer in the same conversation, is right now charging them for not having enough. You are the same person at every balance. The bank is the same bank at every balance. The only thing that changes is the number next to your name. And the number decides everything. The access, the attention, the fees, the warmth, the entire relationship. John started at that minus sign. So did a lot of people who are now sitting in rooms with no logo on the door. The bank doesn't change at every level. The bank reveals what it always was. This is Dark Ledger, the wealth you never see.